Please join me in welcoming Johanna Lentz and Sean Dammann to the lectern for a special introduction.
Okay, I've got my handwritten notes right here. Okay, good afternoon, Michigan FFA. I am so honored to introduce Gretchen Gautz for her retiring address. If you've met Gretchen, you know she embodies many admirable qualities, but her strength stands out the most to me. When I first met her as an FFA member at Lenawee Tech Center, she seemed quiet. She was petite, a young lady who wouldn't hurt a fly, but soon I got to know the real Gretchen. And I saw her true strength. Not just like a physically strong person, but she participated in track, she was on the equestrian team, and she even does powerlifting, okay? But besides this strength, her physical strength, it was her strength in leadership and her character that I admired the most. Although Gretchen wasn't in my class, she always made an effort to connect with me and others. She made us feel like a family. She's remarkable at balancing school, sports, FFA activities, and her relationships with others. No matter how busy she is, she's always available to lend support, whether through a text message or stopping by class when she's home from college. That takes true strength. Gretchen's leadership role as a state officer empowered her to inspire others, and she finds her strength in encouraging fellow FFA members to seize new opportunities. For those who haven't met Gretchen yet, I encourage you to take a moment to connect with her this week. She'll welcome you with open arms. We are so proud of her. Michigan FFA, please join me in welcoming your 2024-2025 Michigan FFA Region 2 State Vice President Gretchen Gautz for her retiring address.
Hey, Michigan FFA. My name is Sean Dammann, and I am from the New Lothrop FFA chapter. It is my pleasure to introduce to you my older sister, Sara. Since she is my older sister, she has obviously been there for my entire life. From one of my very first memories of playing on my dad's very old PlayStation 3 together, to hiking alongside each other on one of our numerous national park vacations, she has always been there to give me a laugh or pick me up when I'm feeling down. Looking back on all our memories and experiences together, one thing is very clear. Sara has a drive unlike anything I've ever seen. Whether it's that petty sibling competition where she's always trying to beat me in a game, or her honorable mention All-State awards for softball, or her 6 FFA state titles. When she puts her mind to something, she gets it done. This trait, this drive, has allowed her to excel in many aspects of life. If you haven't had a chance to meet Sara, I strongly suggest you do. Whether you are wondering how she got to where she is today, or you're just looking for a piece of advice, Sara will be able to give you something worth remembering. Heck, 16 years later, and she is still teaching me new things every day. I was told to keep the introduction short and sweet, but before I give the stage to her, there's a couple things I have to say. One is, Sara, I'm proud of you. I know Mom and Dad, Grandma and Grandpas, everyone, they are so proud of you. I really mean that. Keep up the good work. And 2, God is with you. He has blessed you in so many ways, and He will continue to bless you. Through the highs and the lows, don't ever lose hope and always trust where He leads you. So with that being said, Michigan FFA, I am proud to introduce to you your 2024-2025 State Vice President and my sister, Sara Dammann, for her retiring address.
Hope when you take that jump, you don't feel the fall. Hope when the water rises, you built a wall. Hope when
What does it mean to be intentional?
Being intentional means making the choice to be right here, right now.
Is acting and speaking with mindfulness and precision to work toward a desired result.
It's purposefully focusing on your actions, decisions, and goals.
To me, being intentional comes down to living every day to the fullest.
Following your values, you'll be able to follow what your heart tells you to do, what you feel is right, and be able to help others do what is right.
What does it mean to be a community?
Being part of community means encouraging others to overcome challenges.
Means having a sense of belonging and connection with others who share similar interests, values, or goals.
It means to be part of a group of people. They're there for you and you are there for them. You can always count on each other.
Unconditionally supporting the people around you.
It's having people that will support you when you are trying things outside of your comfort zone.
Busy day, busy day. First on the agenda, mock rock, where I have my morning, afternoon, and evening shows. Second, FFA chapter officer elections. As a current sophomore, I wasn't expecting much, just wanted to leave an impact on my chapter. And third, school board meeting. Okay, I got this. Very quickly, the day rushed by with mock rock performances. Basically, mock rock is lip sync battles, dancing, and actual singing. That day, I gave a grand performance of arguably the best car ride song out there, Party in the USA, let me hear it. As expected, by that afternoon, I was hyped for chapter officer elections. I changed into my OD, talked to my tallywhacker, brainstormed my greatest weakness, perfectionism, and prepared to get slated for the best position out there, the reporter. I mean, who wouldn't want to be in charge of social media? Now, interview time. I did get asked that greatest weakness question, but beyond that, I don't remember much. The next thing I knew, I was in front of the ag room door, ready to look at the whiteboard, where I was sure Sara was beautifully written under reporter. The door opened. We all burst in and, wait, my name's not under reporter, but where? Under president? Me as chapter president? Looking at the other candidates, I knew I didn't stand a chance. I was running against a junior and a strong sophomore. But at least that meant I could still be a reporter. Still, knowing I was slated for such an important position, I felt honored the committee had so much faith in me. As expected, I didn't make the final two for president, so I dropped to, well, reporter. In that round, I did make the final two. But then I lost. Okay, whatever. I still have one chance left. I then used my second and final drop to slide into Sentinel, and again made the final two where I was sure I would be elected. After all, I had been slated for president. But then I lost. Again. Keep it together, Sara, keep it together. I kept the tears from flowing as I transitioned into the board meeting, but soon after, I couldn't hold them back. I still had tears in my eyes for my last mock rock performance, messing up, but not really caring. Not since I lost the chance to impact my chapter as an officer. The following year was rough. It seemed that at every FFA event, the lost election was all I could think about. I put thoughts in my mind that I wasn't wanted, that I wasn't really valued. I even considered quitting the FFA as I struggled to find my worth. Yet, for whatever reason, I decided to give FFA one last try before allowing myself to quit. For those of us not from Region 4, every year, our regional officers host a leadership night. That year, I decided to attend with my chapter. I thought I was going to have an okay time, make some friends, get some ice cream. But that's when things changed. Out of the blue, a regional officer I had never met before came up to me. She introduced herself as Ava and began asking questions about my time in the FFA. As our conversation came to an end, she asked me, "Sara, have you ever thought about running for regional office? I think you'd make a great leader." In my mind, self-doubt. Really, she clearly doesn't know how elections went. Why should I believe her? In reality, "Thank you, Ava. It's something I never really considered. Maybe I'll look into it." Then we went on with our evenings until later, when I lay in bed pondering the words Ava told me, the belief she had in me. "I think you make a great leader." Great leader. Did I have that potential inside of me? Had I been blind to a truth because I allowed a loss to convince me otherwise? You see, what changed my life that night wasn't any grand event. No, it was this small moment. What changed my life, what led me here today, and what has given me a purpose is the fact that Ava did come up to me. She did tell me. She did believe in me. It's the fact that she saw the value of this small action, the intentional action, an action that can change a life. We all have life-changing power when we make that choice to be intentional with our actions, our time, our talents, our words, our kindness, our love for others. We are change makers capable of being a light. Our intentionality shows others that they are more than what's holding them back, that they have potential, that they are valued. And it's truly the small actions, the intentional actions, that have the power to change the world, the power to change a life. These past 4 years, I've searched for meaning in my life, and it's because of people like Ava who have shown me why I value the small, intentional actions. They're one of my greatest purposes. So, to remind myself to stay intentional, I oftentimes look at my hands. Everyone, put your hands up and look at them. What's so significant, you might ask? Well, that's the point. Our hands by themselves are insignificant. They're small, generic, and if you're like me, a bit cold. Rather, it's what we do with our hands that determines their significance. When I look at my hands, I envision the impact I can make in others' lives, whether that be by shaking a hand, writing a thank you note, or sending an encouraging text. In our own lives, when we find what grounds us to intentionality, we create astronomical impacts. For some of us, our hands serve as reminders. For others, it's looking where our feet are to stay present. Still others, it's when we look someone in the eye, hold a conversation, or even share a smile. No matter our sign, we then need to use it to stay grounded in intentionality so we can create the small actions filled with life-changing impacts.
Imagine little Gretchen showing all of the big shows with her mom, friends, and her little miniature horse, Strawberry. This stubborn mini had done all that I asked and more. She was my first best friend, the first to my new little community in the horse industry. But as I got older, and due to me growing and Strawberry being the short little queen she is, I had moved on to my first big horse named Millie. Now, why I, a 7-year-old, was allowed to show an 8-time world champion was beyond me. I had felt so underqualified, like I wasn't able to show her to her full potential. And as I continued to show and continue to lose, a lot of my confidence had went out the window. I remember this one local show, I had just gotten 8th place in the class, and I looked down at my saddle, tears in my eyes, thinking, why? Why couldn't I win just once? To make my mom proud, to make Millie proud, and to prove to myself that I belong here, that I belong in the show ring. My passion to show horses had left, and I wanted nothing more than to stop. I felt like a burden to my mom not being able to simply win a 90-cent ribbon that just so happens to be blue instead of red, white, yellow, or brown. So, in a hope to save my riding confidence and willingness to stay in the industry, my mom had me train under one of her former clients, Devin. Now, Devin had a silly way of coaching that I had enjoyed. And after some time, I had regained a lot of my confidence and made some amazing friends that helped me love showing again. Rachel, Maddie, and Lauren. We had taken over Devin's arena with our laughter and made each lesson the best one we've ever had. And after a while, I had regained most of my confidence and moved out of Devin's barn to one that had a bit of a higher skill set in the industry. I still showed with Rachel, Maddie, and Lauren, keeping our little community together, but something wasn't the same as it always was. When I arrived at my new barn, realizing I was the only middle schooler in a college equestrian team barn, it would be an understatement to say that I was nervous. My trainers were also the coaches for the equestrian team, and some of the college students had decided to introduce themselves. Well, two in particular looked at me and said, "Hey, you're new, what's your name? Where are you from? What horse is yours? Can we ride together sometime?" Immediately bombarding me with questions that I, at the time, couldn't even process. Even though the questions were simple, I was at a loss for words. Cassie and Alex opened up to me almost instantly, and for what? I was scared that they were only being nice to me because I was the youngest in the barn. But how they opened up to me, I decided to open up to the rest of the barn, but in a much more calmer approach. And even though it was typically used for important information that the college students use daily, I decided to leave a question to the group. The question I wrote was, if you could be anything in the world, what would you be? It was a simple question, but it was a fun way to break the ice. And some of the answers that I got were silly, like a bird so I can fly anywhere I want, and a turtle so I'd always be at home. But seeing how everyone had enjoyed this question so much, I had decided to leave a new one at the beginning of each week. And this slowly became a tradition, the community question. Through me writing this question, I was able to make so many amazing connections with these amazing people. I was able to connect with the team, and they supported me with all of my ambitions to go even further in the industry, and I supported them with the simplest tasks around the barn or even at shows. That simple question led to so many amazing friendships, so many amazing memories, and a bigger, stronger community. Now, when you hear the word community, you may be thinking of your neighbors or the town or city you live in, but community expands so much further than that. Our community can look like educators, immediate and extended family, buyers at a local fair, school bus drivers, your advisor, the farmer you get your hay from, or even your fellow chapter and regional FFA members. Taking a moment to reflect, we can appreciate the already built-in community we are lucky enough to be surrounded with. But if we are willing to intentionally grow our community, it will empower us when we need it most. Now, it's okay to not know what to expect when building up our community, but it is important that we take that first step because someone could be wishing that they had the confidence to take the initiative and are waiting on you to do it. By taking a small step, we can build to something more. That step can be as simple as you want it to be, simply changing your mindset from I can attend this upcoming chapter meeting to I will attend this upcoming chapter meeting, and I will talk to one new person. Changing the mindset from I can to I will makes interactions that much more intentional. During our time here at convention, it is important, how will we intentionally build our community within our chapter? Maybe finding someone with the same SAE as you, taking a photo with a new person each day of convention, or finding 5 different people to even talk to. Now, when we leave the convention hall on Friday, it is important we bring this mindset with us. How will you intentionally build your community within your schools? We can invite someone to come to lunch with us. Write your own whiteboard question in a classroom. Or invite someone to an upcoming chapter meeting. How will you intentionally build your community?
Our lives are filled with billions of small moments. And it's in these moments that when we choose to be intentional, we bring light and life to a world so often filled with darkness. My own life was filled with darkness. And had Ava not chosen to be intentional with the mere 30 seconds of her life, I don't know what would have happened. I would have been lost. Instead, because of her intentionality, I was found.
Building an intentional community doesn't mean you have to say the first word, but simply take the first step. Take that small step you are scared to take. I was nervous when it came to making friends, but I took an approach I was comfortable with. I slowly made connections with those I shared the barn with.
When we are intentional, we change lives.
When we connect with community, we empower lives.
Michigan FFA, through intentionality
and community, be a light.
Gretchen, your passion brings so much energy to our team. Thank you for always being fun-loving you. Michigan FFA, our Region 2 State Vice President, Gretchen Gautz.
Sara, your dedication, commitment, and work ethic is admirable. Thank you for your thoughtfulness and for always keeping us on task. Michigan FFA, our State Vice President, Sara Dammann.
Gotta get that fire back in my bones before my heart turns into stone. So when somebody please pass the megaphone, I'll shout it on